A heavy silence settles across the courtroom as a sharply dressed woman leans forward. Her expression carefully controlled, her confidence unmistakable. Jennifer Arthur raises her hand and points directly across the room at the defendant. A uniformed police officer seated with quiet composure, her voice trembles just enough to sound convincing. "Admit it," she says, her tone edged with accusation. "You targeted me." The words hang in the air, calculated, deliberate, designed to provoke. A wealthy, polished white woman accusing a black police officer of racial profiling. On record, in a courtroom, under oath. A few people in the gallery exchange uneasy glances. Others lean forward, already drawn into the tension. Jennifer Arthur looks every bit the successful professional she claims to be. Her tailored designer suit fits flawlessly, her jewelry catches the light with subtle intention, and everything about her presentation signals control, status, and credibility. But beneath that polished exterior is something else, something rehearsed. She expects to be believed, she expects sympathy, she expects to win. What she doesn't know is that the judge presiding over this case has already seen everything. The night before, long after the courtroom had emptied, the judge reviewed the full dashcam footage from the traffic stop. She read the officer's report line by line. And more importantly, she examined Jennifer Arthur's driving history. Every citation, every complaint, every prior incident, and what she found tells a very different story. Thursday afternoon. The courtroom is full. The energy is tense, almost electric. This isn't just another traffic dispute. It's a case loaded with serious accusations, and everyone can feel that something bigger is about to unfold. Jennifer sits confidently at the plaintiff's table, occasionally glancing at the audience as if already certain of their support. Across from her sits Officer Joseph Williams, a 15-year veteran of the police force. The contrast between them is striking. Where Jennifer projects controlled emotion, Officer Williams embodies restraint. His uniform is immaculate, his posture disciplined, his expression calm. His service record speaks for itself, commentations, years of duty, a reputation built on professionalism. Yet today, he sits accused of something that can destroy a career, racial bias. The judge enters the courtroom, and the atmosphere shifts instantly. Her presence commands attention. Her eyes scan the room briefly before settling on the two individuals at the center of the case. She has seen thousands of people sit in those chairs, liars, victims, manipulators, honest citizens, and something about Jennifer Arthur immediately sets off alarms. The performance is already underway. Jennifer is invited to speak. She inhales deeply, composing herself, and begins her testimony. She describes the day as ordinary. She was driving through a neighborhood she didn't know well, being cautious, following the law. Then suddenly, flashing lights appeared behind her. She says her heart started racing. She insists she had done nothing wrong. According to her, the officer approached her aggressively, hand near his weapon, treating her as if she were dangerous. She emphasizes her background, successful, responsible, law-abiding. "I've never even had a parking ticket," she says confidently. Not once. She claims the stop had nothing to do with traffic and everything to do with who she was. A white woman in the wrong neighborhood. Her voice cracks at just the right moment. She describes fear, humiliation, emotional distress. She claims the encounter lasted nearly 45 minutes and left her shaken long after it ended. Her attorney reinforces the narrative, framing it as part of a larger issue: systemic bias, misuse of authority, and the targeting of individuals based on perception rather than facts. The courtroom listens. The judge says nothing at first, then she leans forward slightly. "You're absolutely certain," she asks calmly, "that you've never had any prior traffic violations?" Jennifer nods without hesitation. "Absolutely certain." The judge pauses for just a moment, then nods. "We'll come back to that." She turns to Officer Williams. "Tell me what happened." Officer Williams stands, composed and precise. He explains that he was on routine patrol in a residential school zone. It was dismissal time. Children, parents, guards, all present. He observed a vehicle traveling at an extremely high rate of speed. His radar recorded it. 68 miles per hour in a 25-mile-per-hour zone. He explains that he made a decision at the scene to reduce the cited speed significantly. Not to punish, but to give the driver a break and avoid more severe legal consequences. He describes the stop as brief. Just over 7 minutes, professional controlled, and he mentions the dashcam footage. Compliant. Unedited, with audio. The judge nods. "Let's see it." The courtroom lights dim slightly as the footage appears on the screens. The video begins with a clear view of the street. A school is visible, children are present. Traffic is moving carefully. Then suddenly, a car speeds past fast enough to draw immediate attention. The radar reading appears on screen, 68 miles per hour. There is an audible reaction from the audience. The officer activates his lights and follows. The vehicle does not stop immediately. It continues for a noticeable distance before finally pulling over. The officer exits his vehicle. His hands are clearly visible. No weapon, no aggression. He approaches calmly. "Good afternoon, Ma." His tone is steady, respectful, then Jennifer's voice cuts in, sharp, defensive, confrontational. "I wasn't speeding." She challenges him immediately, raises her voice, accuses him of targeting. The interaction escalate not from the officer, but from her. She refuses to provide her license at first. She demands a supervisor. She accuses him of racism. At one point, she throws her license toward him. The officer remains composed the entire time. He explains the violation. He even reduces the citation. The entire interaction lasts just over 7 minutes, not 45. The video ends. The silence that follows is overwhelming. No one speaks. Because there is nothing left to question, the judge leans forward. "Every single statement you made," she says quietly, "has just been contradicted by video evidence." Jennifer shifts in her seat. She attempts to explain. Emotion, stress, misremembering details, but the judge cuts through it. "Facts are not optional." Then comes the second issue. "You told me you've never had a traffic violation." Jennifer hesitates now. The judge opens a folder and begins reading. One citation, then another speeding, school zones dismissals, complaints against officers. Allegations of bias, a pattern, not one incident, many, each time followed by the same response: accuse, deflect, avoid responsibility. The courtroom begins to understand what they are witnessing. This is not a misunderstanding. This is a strategy. The judge's tone hardens. "You've created a pattern," she says. "Every time you're held accountable, you make serious accusations to escape consequences." Jennifer tries to interrupt. The judge doesn't allow it. She explains clearly that false accusations, especially of something as serious as discrimination, carry consequences far beyond one case. They damage trust, they harm credibility, and they make it harder for real victims to be heard. Then she delivers the ruling. The case is dismissed. But it doesn't end there. The court finds that the officer's reputation was harmed by false public claims. Damages are awarded. Jennifer is ordered to remove those claims and publicly correct them. Further actions are recommended based on her conduct and history. The gavel comes down. Final, decisive. The courtroom exhales. Officer Williams remains composed, but there is a quiet relief in his expression. He thanks the court. The judge acknowledges his professionalism. And as the moment settles, one thing becomes clear to everyone present. This wasn't just about a traffic stop. It was about truth, about accountability, and about what happens when someone tries to manipulate a system that depends on honesty. Because in the end, no matter how convincing the performance, evidence speaks louder.